So the session is I actually tagged it exit plan. So the idea is for us to have a strategic plan how someone can comfortably transition to maybe the next professional chapter, and at the same time prepare early for a fulfilling retirement. And this is very, very important. A lot of us, we have people around us who are actually afraid of retirement. I'm very sure about that. I remember when I was in the university, we know a lot of professors who it looks as if they were shocked that it's time for them to retire. Like, you mean retirement has come like that? And some of them are still having children that they have to train in school and things like that, and they don't know what to do again. So it's part of what we're also going to discuss tonight, and we will actually dwell more on transitioning from one maybe workplace to another, transitioning from one profession to another. And this is what is happening in the current state we find ourselves. This is the situation we find ourselves now. As an individual, we must be agile. What do I mean by that? We must be ready to, must be prepared for the change that may happen to us and that may come our way. And there are a lot of changes that are actually coming our way these days, especially in this age where AI and automation is taking over everything. We cannot just allow everything to just to run down or go through or escape from us like that. Every opportunity escape from us. Why people are making a lot of money in tech, people are making it big time. What advantage or how are we taking advantage of that particular situation, or the advantage of what is presented to us? So I think it's already 8:07, so I am going to start immediately now. That all the things I've been saying are just preamble. Let me put my thoughts together and have a focused discussion. Okay, now crafting your strategic exit plan, like comfortably transitioning to your next professional chapter and preparing for a fulfilling retirement. I don't know our average age here. Maybe some of us could be around 30, 25, 40, 50. If you're around 25, you are the most privileged, knowing that you have to start preparing your retirement now. Yes, you are the most privileged. Whoever is around 30 or 40 is still privileged. Even 50 is still privileged. But so because some people, they get shocked, like, is it time for me to retire? Good. It's part of what we are going to discuss tonight. So let's move to the first point of discussion. And this is the webinar objective. We want to explain what an exit plan means, and we should be able to distinguish between strategic career transitions and early retirement planning. Strategic career transitions. Then secondly, we will be identifying key financial, professional, and personal factors for successful career transitions. And we also recognize common challenges and understand ways to avoid pitfalls. And that's why we call it strategic planning. Then it's also going to involve we developing a personalized exit plan. And that's, in fact, that is the main aim of this session. We developing a personalized exit plan. Not just plan with actionable steps, plan with actionable insights. And this is part of what we're going to do tonight as individuals. Part of what we're going to do tonight. So let's get ready to move on in the course of the session. So by my own thoughts, when the idea came to mind about definition of exit plan. When the idea came to mind, this is what I'm thinking. It's like a proactive and strategic roadmap developed by an individual to transition smoothly and successfully from their current professional role or organization, either maybe to a new employer or a new career path, or towards a well prepared early retirement. So, as an individual, this is key for you. One must have a plan or a roadmap that you have set for yourself in order for you to move from one point of workplace to another. Maybe you want to move from one organization to another organization, or better still, maybe you were a teacher before and you are thinking, okay, you are a full-time physical teacher and you are thinking of moving to become a freelance teacher, like teaching online. That is a transition. And for this to happen, there has to be serious planning. Like serious planning. That is one. And as all this planning are taking place, one must also bring to mind, when do I want to retire? Do you want to retire early, or do you want to work till you get to 70 years? Because I'm aware that the federal government have increased retirement age to 65, and a lot of people are excited about it, that the retirement age has increased. Is this excitement justifiable? You as an individual, do you really want to work that long for your lifetime? So these are the things everybody must have planned for as an individual. And what we're going to talk about also encompasses financial, professional, and personal consideration. So you are aiming to maximize opportunities that come your way. You are also trying to minimize the risk. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you just give me an emoji? My network fluctuated. Please give me, can I get an emoji if you can hear me clearly? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let's move on now. So all this plan must involve both financial plan, it must involve both professional planning, must also involve personal consideration. And some of us who have family, you must also include your family consideration. So, and the idea is to maximize every opportunity that comes your way. You also minimize risk, and you should ensure smooth, intentional progression in one's career and life journey. And now the first question that will come our way, whoever wants to speak can please raise up their hand and speak. The first question that will be coming our way is this very simple question. What is the strategic importance of having an exit plan in today's professional landscape? Do we really think it's important for an individual to have exit plan in today's professional landscape? It could be in form of moving from one job to another. It could be in form of changing profession, and it could also be in form of retiring early in life. So the question now is this: is it really very important for us to have an exit plan in today's workforce? If you want to speak, please, you can on your mic and let us have this discussion. Thank you. Okay, Miss Modest, you can speak, please.
All right. Good evening, Mr. Femi. Good evening, everyone. All right. So this is my own contribution to the question.
Please introduce yourself, please. Just tell us your name and what you want us to know about you, please.
Right. I am Modest. Mr. Femi calls me Modest, but I also go by the name Orolayo. I'm an ESL teacher. That's what I do currently. I'm a teacher, but I stopped being a physical, classroom teacher. So right now I'm an online tutor, but I teach in the line of ESL. That's what I do. So yes, back to our subject matter. what is the strategic importance of having exit plan in today's professional landscape? I'd like to start by saying that God is a God of order. God is not someone that does things anyhow. So, and we can learn from that. If you see Genesis 1, you see how he he had to take care of what was happening in verse 2. Everything was without form and void. And the first thing he did was to put order. If you read down from verse 3 downwards, you see that that was God putting order to everything. He created sun, moon, and star, called light, day, called darkness, night. He put order into everything. So if we bring that into our lives, we'll see how that this subject that is actually very vital. We are to be said of people who don't do things, who does not give ourselves to doing things anyhow. And of course, another question that now popped up in the mind is, are there times that things happen without you planning for them? Yes, capital yes. And that's where this subject matter that Mr. Femi is bringing up will also now come in the fore. Because there are some decisions you don't make in a hurry. In one month are we're in August now. In middle March, I I like lost my job, and like it happened to me. It wasn't like I planned for it. Mr. Femi has the details because he's my ego, and I had to run to him, and we had that conversation, and he encouraged me, and I'm here today. Now, what I now do today is something that had always been on my mind, which uncertainties did not even allow me to delve into. But that's what I've been doing. Of course, it requires planning. There's a lot more to it than what I'm just saying. What I'm uh, contribute to the subject matter simply is, if we look at God Himself, we see that He's a God of order. So this subject matter is very, very important. Very, 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 very important. So it is important really to have plans. And in the planning, you have to put order, just like God is a God of order.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that contribution. Thank you for bringing Supreme Being into the matter. Now, who else want to help us contribute to this question? Like, why is it very important for us to have an exit plan in today's professional world? For those who just joined, we've been looking at exit plan, and the angle we are looking at it from is the angle of you having to plan to change your job, having to plan to change your maybe profession, and ultimately planning for retirement. So we are discussing, like, in the world of today, why do we think this is important? And Ms. Modest has been able to shed light from our own perspective. So we're waiting. Who else wants to shed light from their own perspective on the importance of having an exit plan in today's professional landscape? So please, you can on your mic and talk to us, or you can indicate by raising up your hand if you want me to call you. So who else is speaking for us or speaking to us? Remember, I told us I don't want this to be me just talking. That's not the plan. I want everybody to make a contribution. From there, we'll be able to come up with something important. Okay, thank you, Mr. Marcel.
Okay, yes, this is Mr. Marcel Ikembu. I'm an ICT teacher. I want to say something about this exit plan. Asking the question, is it important? I think that question is rhetoric in nature, because everybody here knows that it is important to have a plan of how to retire, because it's very, very important. Like what Simi said in his introduction, some people are already crying that that their retirement age is already nearby and they don't have anything to hold back to. Some are worried that, in fact, they don't even want to retire. It's even important, very, very important. We don't need to overstate that. But what I feel that is most important right now is the strategy. How do you do this? How do you plan for this retirement? What are the necessary rents are skyrocketing, and the way even the salary that you are getting is not even enough to sustain you. How will we be able to navigate this plan? That is what I feel that is most important, not whether the planning is necessary or not. I think the planning is highly necessary. So let us look at what are the things that we can do. I didn't mean to say we should not talk about whether it is necessary or not. Anybody can still dwell on that. But my own interest is how do we go about this? Because it's not easy to change business. I'm telling you, it's not easy because some of you have said, okay, I've stopped teaching, let me enter the market. You will see you open a business today. Before you know it, the business is crumbling. Sometimes you cannot even see your capital. So it is not very easy. That's what I'm trying to say. So let me stop here meanwhile so that other people can contribute. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Marcel. You are already you're already moving towards the hot part of the discussion, and that's fine by me. The fact that you have pushed it forward to move to the actually hot part of discussion is very, very important. So, based on what Mr. Marcel say, at times you don't want to live on assumption. If truly this is important, if we all see this as important, then we will have taken step to navigate it. And if you have encountered different people, you will have seen that truly they've seen it as important and they already have a plan in place. So the first thing we need to ascertain is the fact that we all are seeing it as very important. So I need us to come to a point of agreement. Do we think this exit plan is very, very important? If you think it's important, can you give me a signal using the emoji so that we can move to the next slide? Okay, thank you very much. Miss Modest, I know you still want to speak, but I'm sure the time will elapse. The time we've allocated for this session is definitely going to elapse. So let's not dwell too much on it. When time comes for you to speak again, you might want to refer back and mention whatever point you want to make. So let's just move to the next plan. So we have established that exit plan is essential in today's dynamic workforce. And this is because jobs have shorter tenures now. There are frequent career transition, and there is need for us to navigate multiple career pivots, because today now there's nothing like one job. You have to do plenty job. In today, everybody must be a businessman. So now we have to look at what has actually disrupted some of these things that we're experiencing today. What has disrupted some of these things we're experiencing today? And one of those things is technology. Technology has actually disrupted. And we also have what's called the demographic shift, where the world is becoming a global village. And these are the things that are bringing about the need for serious planning, and there has to be career mobility and serious retirement planning. I'm just going to summarize this point so that I can move to the next thing. Are we aware that between 2025 and 2030, 92 million jobs will be lost? Like 92 million jobs will not be relevant again. It may not be necessary for companies to have secretaries anymore in the next 2 years. Administrative staff members will be reduced in many institutions in the next 3 to 5 years. So those who will be doing data entry in the offices, maybe a cashier is collecting this, doing this, they will soon be phased off in the next 2 to 3 years. Like, it's already happening now, and it will be more massive in the next. By 2030, all those jobs, like, will have forgotten that they existed. Just like you cannot be bringing typewriter here again, that somebody will want to use typewriter. So all these jobs will be forgotten. They will forget about them. But the good news is this. Yes, there will be loss of 92 million jobs. There will be loss of there will also be creation of about 150 million jobs. Now, you as an individual, are you preparing yourself to fit into these 150 million jobs that will be created by 2030? It has started actually. It has started now. But by 2030, another dispensation we want to start again. So right now, can you tell yourself as an individual that I am prepared for the jobs that are coming ahead? And the next question that will come to mind is, what kind of jobs are we talking about? What kind of jobs are we talking about? And the kind of jobs we are talking about in this situation are all tech related. They are all tech related. So it may interest you to know that yes, teachers will become relevant. But then, if you are not extremely technologically inclined, you may not become relevant anymore. They have started a school in UK where robots will be teachers. In Asia, robots are now waiters. Now ask yourself, how will I fit into this new system? You can be in Nigeria and be working for people in the USA now. That means somebody can stay in the USA and be competing for a job with you in Nigeria. Do you think you'll be able to stand it? Somebody will be in India and be competing for jobs with you. Some of us that are in the online space will understand what I'm trying to say. You are bidding for a contract, maybe in Upwork. You get it. You are bidding for a contract, maybe in Upwork or in any freelance platform, or for those of us who are in Preply, Super Prof and the like. You want to charge $10 per hour, but someone in Asia is already charging $5 per hour. That is the competition we are talking about here. How will you as an individual now stand out to fit into this situation? This is the competition that we are talking about. So it is very, very essential for us to equip ourselves. And that is where upskilling comes in. Upskilling have to come in. And just like someone has mentioned, living or transiting from one job to another is not as easy as it looks like. But with proper planning, we can work it out. With proper planning, we can work it out. So, without much discussion, it's a fact that technological advances like AI and automation are transforming job role. And we as individuals, we need to always upskill. And the demographic factor, like job competition, is now all around the world. A lot of us have been looking for international teaching opportunity, but after you have done the first stage, second stage, third stage interview, fifth stage interview, they will tell you that they are sorry that they already have and they have someone who aligns with their philosophy more than you. So the competition is very tense, and we all must upskill. So now, what are the common motivation behind strategic career transition? So this is another thing we need to discuss now. I think we are pivoting towards the main area where everyone will have to maybe speak out or express how they feel about your situation. So what are the things that we think can motivate us to have a strategic career transition? It could be a motivation, could be a challenge too. Maybe there is a challenge in your workplace that can be something that will push you towards moving away from that workplace or having to do what we call career transition. So can we just the floor is open for us to speak again. What are the common motivations behind strategic career transition? Okay, I'll still permit you to speak. Just let's have it for 1 minute because you have spoken before. Quickly. I don't understand what you mean by people like us. So, okay.
I mean, if someone didn't come up with this, in fact, most of what you've been enlightening us about, it's not like some of us don't know, or we've not heard, or we've not read. But, there's just this thing about the push you need, holding conversations, just playing in your head all the time and all. So, that's what I mean by people like you.
Okay.
So, yes, that's what I mean.
That makes sense. Okay, more contributions. What are the common motivations behind strategic career transitions? What are the things that will push you or that could make you want to decide that, oh, I need to change my workplace. I need to move on to something else. I can't just continue like this again. So what are those things? Can we mention them? Okay, Mr. Sylvester, you want to talk or you're just clapping for someone who just spoke?
Yeah, so
Okay.
Mr. Femi, thank you very much for this training actually. And so part of what I would say is if you want a good place where you can have your mental stability, a place where you feel relaxed and have peace of mind, and it's also a motivation for you to leave where you are to get to that place where you want such. And I think finances also. If you want an increment in your finances, if you want a better welfare, I think that can be a motivation for you to move to a different place.
Yeah. That's a very, very, very good one. So let me read from the comment section. I still have some point. I have some point from the comment section. Okay, from the comment section, I have my brother here, Mr. Adedeji Leko, Mr. Ibrahim. He mentioned the environment, and that's very important too. The environment, like where you are currently, how is the place like? Is it a place you feel comfortable with or something different? He also mentioned the standard of living. Yes, that's very important. Then Mr. Paul talked about the pursuit for lifelong learning, and this is very key and important. Pursuit for lifelong learning. So let's get more points before I also add my own few points. Let's get more points from people. I would like you to also contribute. Okay, that's a very good one. Meeting personal needs. Yes, someone have dropped. Yes, it's okay. Let's be dropping it in the chat box if we are comfortable with that. Meeting personal needs. Very, very important. Now, if I'm also going to add to the pool, opportunity for career advancement. Good. Knowledge growth. Opportunity for career advancement. Especially those of us in the private sector. It's a very difficult thing. Somebody can be on the same salary for 7 years in private sector. Same salary for 7 years. Same position for 7 years. That is not a good one at all. These are the things that should make you get angry and tell yourself that I need to leave. I need to move on. I need to transit. Like we have mentioned, a lot of us have mentioned lifelong learning, like learning new skill and development. Then somebody have mentioned salary, improve salary, increase compensation. Another point is work-life balance. I think this is also related to environment that someone mentioned, work-life balance. So the quest for sustainability, good. Any job that is not scalable, you can't remain there, and you shouldn't remain there. But what is painful is we see people in this situation every now and then, and that is where this section will end. All these things we have mentioned, but we find ourselves, I have been there before, a lot of you have been there before. Why did we stay that long? That's the question we should ask ourselves. Why did we stay that long when we realize that this take home that I'm getting from this job is not taking me home again? Why do I remain there? When I realize that this environment is even affecting my mental state, is extremely toxic for me, why should I remain there? When I see that my colleagues are doing better in the same work, in the same career, why am I still here this way? Why do we still remain there? That's the question we'll continue to ask ourselves. And there's a question, somebody says, what if a person is working in a place that give him or her peace of mind, but salary is not encouraging? This Miss, I just said this your question. I have been in that situation before. Yes, kind of. It's I feel so relaxed. I feel so contented, but I know that this salary is not as much. Like some of us that have worked in missionary schools before. I have worked in a missionary school before. I was encouraged. I was told that it's God's work I'm doing, and what should I call it? I should not expect too much. I should just take it as a calling and things like that. Man, it can't be easy like that. It can't be easy like that. It can't be easy like that. If what I'm earning is not taking care of my family, it can't be easy like that. I have to do something about it. So what we are saying now is this. Yes, there is always something better out there for you. That's just the truth of the matter. There's always something better out there for you. You must always look forward. You must always look forward. You must always look forward to something better to where you are. Well, if you say you have peace of mind, but the salary is not enough, I'll call that complacency. That's what I'm going to call complacency, in my own personal opinion. You must have peace of mind. The salary must also be enough for you to take home and also cater for your family. You cannot say you have peace of mind when you have to borrow to pay for school fees. You cannot say you have peace of mind when you have to borrow to pay for house rent. And that is why I keep telling myself there is something better out there. And that is where you don't just jump at it, and that's where the strategic plan have to come in. Very, very important. The strategic plan have to come in. So motivations including seeking career advancement, learning opportunity, better compensation, work-life balance, cultural fit, new networks and geographic changes, and alignment with long-term goals. Yes, that's a very important one. Alignment with long-term goals. All these things can bring about motivation to change work. Now, the pandemic after COVID-19, it has helped us. It has intensified a lot of things. It has intensified a lot of things in terms of purpose and value alignment. Before now, a lot of people may not think of changing and doing online jobs, but the pandemic has opened our eyes to see that yes, you can actually be doing online job. You can be working from home. Now, Mr. Adeji mentioned that most of us are not ready to invest in our beings, and that's, in fact, it is part of one of the things we are going to talk about. Investing in your personal development. That's key. And that is the main challenge with most of us. Investing in our personal development. If we are not investing in our personal development, our value will not increase. And in that situation, moving forward or transitioning or moving into a new place may be very difficult, because we don't have any new value we are bringing in to the new place. And this is very, very important for us. So let's move on to the next point of call. We have looked at the motivation behind strategic career transition. So there we come now. What best practices can individual adopt for a successful career transition? This, we have reached the point where we will really dwell so much on. So now, what are the best practices for what? For career or successful career transition. So can we start now? What are the things one must look at? What are the things one must consider? What are the things one must put in place in order to actually adopt or carry out a successful career transition? The floor is open for us to contribute now. It's okay to think for a few seconds. So once you think it through and you want to make your contribution, if you want to drop it in the chat box, it's fine. But I really appreciate us to actually talk about it and discuss it. So where do we start from? If you want to consider your state and you want to move upward the ladder, or you want to bring about career transition for yourself, where should you start from? what should you consider? What are the best practices you need to adopt for a successful career transition? Who is opening the floor for us? Okay, maybe you want me to open the floor. Okay, I can open the floor. In my opinion, the first thing you should look at is a thorough self-assessment. Like, you have to assess yourself. Tell yourself, where I am now, am I really okay? I think right now everybody should just ask themselves that question. Everybody, let's ask ourselves that question now. Where we are now, can we say we are okay? Can you say that you feel secured? Can you say that if you lose your job today, in the next 6 months, you can still take care of your family? Or if you're an individual, in the next 6 months, you can still take care of yourself without calling anybody for urgent 2K? Can you say that? Can you say that no matter what comes up in my workplace right now, I have something I can fall back to? Ask yourself that question. And this is where self-assessment comes in. So every one of us must think. Let's think about it. Very good. Human wants are insatiable. Thank you for this point. Human wants are insatiable. So definitely we can't be okay. So if our wants are insatiable and we can't be okay, there should be a minimum standard that you can say that, okay, maybe you could find yourself in a situation where you know that in the next 1 year you are covered. I know people like that who are covered. I have a friend who was also teaching. The guy wanted to leave teaching job and the guy started saving. The guy was saving massively because he wants to leave teaching to move into something totally different with his skill. He has a skill, he has a tech skill, and he wants to move in. He wants to move to fully go and do his tech to go fully into tech. So what did this guy do? He saved massively, and he was able to save and was able to boast that in the next 1 year, in as much as I am not a reckless spender, I should be okay with this my savings in the next 1 year. He got to that point. And he's just retired comfortably. And he started his serious tech career. But then, he already has a backup that, okay, he's not assuming that this tech career I'm moving into will start bringing in money for me in the next 3-4 months. He didn't make that assumption. So he was able to back up for like a year. And that's why I said this discussion is even more relevant for younger folks, because some of us that are already married with kids with a lot of responsibility, it might be very difficult for us to even attain this. It is not like it's not possible. Using the word difficult does not mean it's not possible. So, but this guy was able to have this plan. And now the guy is doing extremely very well. Like extremely well now. So self-assessment is very, very important in this situation. So apart from self-assessment, what other thing do we need to put in place? What other thing can we adopt for easy career transition? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've seen one that will have, okay, this exit plan, we should realize that in the world today, a source of income cannot feed a man. Thank you very much. So that is one. And all these things that we are talking about are part of the things that actually cropped up in the research that I've made about this concept. So another thing, I think what I'll take away from here is multiple streams of income or multiple skills. I'll put it that way. If you want to put it as multiple streams of income, you can also put it in form of multiple skills. So if you are actually here and you are fixated on knowing one thing, not knowing so many things, I think you need to have a rethink. Ask yourself, if you are a teacher, apart from teaching, what other things do I think I can fall back to if I am not teaching? Like right now, do you have something handy right now that if you leave the classroom, you will be doing? Ask yourself that question. And that is very, very vital. Very, very vital. And that is the point of this exit plan. And it's not too late for you to start equipping yourself in as much as you are still active and physically active. So one source of income cannot feed a man, not to talk of a man with children and a whole family. And we still have what we call black tax in Nigeria. I hope you know what black tax is. Your in-laws, your parents, your siblings, your younger ones, your extended family, they will call you one day that your brother, sister, uncle that you did not know, they will tell you that he has died and you need to contribute for the burial. So all those things still remain there. So having one way of making money is not enough. And that is why, as a teacher, one of the things we'll be discussing subsequently is also freelancing. A lot of teachers used to think that you need to learn a tech skill to be a freelancer. No. If you are doing online teaching, you are a freelance teacher. And if you go to some of these freelance platforms, they are looking for teachers to do a lot of things for them. Whenever I enter Upwork and I see job searches, I always laugh that, you mean this is serious? Someone somewhere is looking for somebody that will mark a script for them. It will shock you. Somebody in USA, they have done their exam. They are looking for people that will mark the script for them. Someone somewhere is looking for somebody who will prepare lesson plan for them. And these are things we teachers do every day. And somebody somewhere, maybe in Australia, is looking for someone that will do that, and they will pay the person. So we can leverage some of these our skills we are using the classroom in this situation. Now, are you doing research to have access to some of these things? That's another question you should ask yourself. In fact, everybody this age must be a researcher. If you are not researching, you will be left behind because a lot of things are changing. Maybe some people, as a teacher, you are still stressing yourself writing lesson notes. Sorry, you. Lesson notes should not be part of the things that should take your time again when AI is there. But I know some people that are still considering lesson notes as something that should take their time. No. Or lesson plan to say. So these are the things we are talking about. We must evolve. So when you make most of some of these technological tools, and you now have extra time to do some other things that are very, very important. Now, somebody also mentioned learn new relevant skill that will help you fit into the new job. And this is very, very important. In fact, we have been loaded with a lot of things. We'll be talking about it one after the other. Learn new relevant skills that will help you fit into a new job. And what are these relevant skills we're talking about? Do you know that communication is a very important skill in today? Writing, oh, there we go again. Another thing is writing. Every teacher knows how to write. Nobody will tell me that. For me, every teacher knows how to write. You can bring this to bear. You can bring this into the freelance world. You can bring this into content management or content writer. People are looking for people that will develop stories for them. People are looking for people that will help them to write projects. People are looking for an individual that will help them to write books, to prepare lesson manual, to prepare course manual a lot of these things are happening. We should make most of this opportunity. Some people, I've seen a lot of teachers that just give them pen, they have started writing a lot of things, not beautiful pieces, but they are not selling themselves to the outside world. And this is very, very key for us as teachers. Then somebody mentioned that we need to conduct market survey, and this is very important too. What are people learning about? And this is where another issue or another tech skill come in. How many of us have heard about what we call SEO? Let me type it in the chat box. SEO. Who knows what they call SEO? Can I see your hand? Hey, my sister did not know. Who else know what we call SEO? Yeah? So that is what we call search engine optimization. Everybody must know SEO. If you don't know SEO, please go and be watching YouTube video on SEO. With SEO, you can be able to know what people want in your field. Search engine optimization. If you go to Google, learn about search engine optimization. LinkedIn, you must learn about search engine optimization. Upwork, every platform, every website, everywhere you go, you must learn about it if you want to make money in the online space. Because with this, you will be able to know what people want. For example, you want to start doing YouTube video. You cannot just start doing YouTube video. No, that's not the right place to start from. You cannot say, I have inspiration to do YouTube video on a particular topic. That is not where you need to start from. Who mentioned research the other time? Thanks to you, Mr. Paul. He talked about conducting market survey, and that is where search engine optimization comes in. So if you have an idea, very beautiful, you need to take a step further by researching on what people want about that idea. The fact that you have an idea and you feel it will work is not enough. You need to go to Google, search YouTube, search everywhere. What are people looking for about this idea? When you know what people are looking for, you now craft that idea to suit what people are looking for, and that is when people will now buy the idea. The idea may be beautiful, but if it is not what people are looking for, nobody will buy it. And that is where conducting market survey comes in, and with a good knowledge of search engine optimization, please go and learn it. Please watch YouTube video about it. It will go a long way to help you. Very important. You will need it for your LinkedIn profile. You will need it even if you are on Twitter X. You will need it if you are doing video or doing reels in in Instagram. You will need this concept. If you are in Prepplay, if you are in Super Prof, any platform you belong to, you must learn about this search engine optimization so that you become relevant. That is the only way you can build your skill to know what people are looking for. So SEO will let you know what people want, and you now align your skill with what people want, and that is when you can now make money from the market. If not, you'll be very good, you'll be very smart, like you know how to do this thing, but unfortunately right now that is not what people are looking for. And that is the idea behind search engine optimization and conducting market research. Then after self-assessment, engage in trending skill. Of course, we have talked about that. So you might not live where you are, but have a pilot scheme of income for a 2-year. Thank you very much. I think we have also mentioned that too. Then another one is after assessment, you need to carry out SWOT analysis. Wow, I said we are going to have brilliant people in this session today, and this is also part of my handout. You need to look for your strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. All these things are very important. Very important. Leverage on your strengths and also see how you can strengthen your weaknesses. So this is very, very important. So we have talked about SEO. Then good. Okay, you see now. So that means There's also another update in town. They said SEO is now being replaced by AIO. That's another where, that's a place you need to go and research to. So thank you, Mr. Marcel, for bringing this up. I don't take this for granted. Me right now, I'll just go and research AIO straight, and I'll quickly find a way where that I can align myself with that. So that is a very strong point. Then we also have an idea of artificial intelligence optimization. That's AIO. Good. Thank you. Someone mentioned, what can I do in a different way? Everybody is doing it in the same way. How can I make it different from the way other people are doing it? And many a time, that's what people are also looking for. Oh, this person knows how to bake cake, but she's baking like other people, so I can just buy anywhere since the cake is not different. But there's someone who bakes cake which is totally different from every other person. They will go there and buy from that person because the person's cake is different from every other person's cake. And that is where doing something differently comes in. So we have mentioned a lot of best practice that we need to adopt for successful career transition. So the first one is self-assessment, and that is very, very key and important. You need to ask yourself, what do I really want? What do I really want? You need to ask yourself, what do I really want? So apparently, from this explanation, a lot of us are already doing AIO. Like, most people are moving away from searching using search engines into searching using AI. Yes, I get what Mr. Master is saying. I use ChatGPT for searching too. Yes, I use it a lot for searching a lot of things. I'll ask it to go through the website for me and search a lot. I even use it for full-time research. So that is what we're talking about, AIO, artificial intelligence optimization. Use it to the fullest. So please, as individual, ask yourself, what do I really want? What do I really want? What I am doing now, is it what I actually want for myself? And I will advise you, if what you are doing is not sustaining your family, then you need to what? Optimize. You need to step up. You need to do what? Step up. Upskill. Bring in more skill that will top it up, that will bring the balance. Like somebody mentioned, our needs are insatiable, but there has to be a minimum standard. It's not every time we need to get something, we must run for loan. Yes, there are times where the project is massive, we need to get loan, but it shouldn't be basic and minimal things. A lot of people up to today still get loan to buy foodstuffs at home. We need to upskill. We need to tell ourselves that we should tell ourselves that I am not satisfied with this situation. You say, I'm not satisfied with this situation. Something has to change. And every day, if you keep telling yourself that something has to change, that is where it begins. Self-assessment begins. And like Ms. Modest mentioned, like having this kind of conversation is also another push for us to do what? For us to take a step further. Then we have to develop serious plans. At times, you might have to pay a sacrifice for now so as to be able to what? Gain something later. For example, there was a time I have to tell myself that, oh, I want to improve in my data analytics skills. And I noticed that if I close from work, I'll go for lessons. And before I get home, I'm already tired. I can't do anything again. For a long time, that has been the cycle. But I keep telling myself that, no, I want to improve in my data analytics skills. I still have a lot of tools I need to learn. I still need to learn SQL. I still need to learn Power BI. I still need to learn Python, and so on and so forth. I had to do what? I had to call a family meeting with my wife and children and tell them that, see, for so and so reason, I have to stop lessons. So we have to cut some things in the house because this extra income may not come again. But I am assuring you that on the long run, it will favor us because I want to invest in this skill that will also help my freelance journey. Yes. And what I had to do was I had to stop. I didn't stop all my lessons at once. I looked for the one that I know that I know that this ones I had to stop in phases. I stopped like two at that point in time. I now gave myself 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3 free days. So if I go for lesson on Monday, on Thursday, or on Tuesday, I'll leave Wednesday for myself, leave Friday for myself for my skill learning or upskilling, and maybe Saturday for upskilling. And that is how I was able to navigate. And I can say it wholeheartedly that it is really paying off at this point in time. So, as an individual, there are times you might have to sacrifice some things for the greater good. It is also part of what? Part of the exit plan. Very, very important. So, we have talked so much about this. I think we have talked so much about some of these things that we have mentioned. Another thing that might look different from what we have all said is identifying and bridging skill gaps. You could look for a gap in a particular skill and you will be able to bridge that gap. And in doing that, you make a market or you create a market for yourself. Take for example, maybe let me use those in agric sector. Let's use agriculture for example, because I'm also a farmer too anyways. So maybe you notice that a lot of people who rear chicken, they just sell it off without processing it. Maybe in your area, that's what you experience. You can bridge that gap, that processing gap. You can start processing, like when they kill it. Maybe if you have opportunity to have inverter in your house or you have plenty deep freezer, you can buy the chicken, store them as frozen food, and you be the one that will be selling to the final consumer. So that's a gap you might feel. That's just an example, but you can look at it from that perspective. Then the last thing I want to talk about in this situation, I'll combine it. Positive and flexible mindset and financial planning. I repeat, positive and flexible mindset and financial planning. This is very, very important. No matter how the whole situation looks like, we must have that positive and flexible mindset. What do I mean by this? We must not be fixated on this is how it should be and it must always be like that. We must be ready to have or put ourselves into a situation to allow change in our situation, in our lives too. A lot of people have fixated mindset that if it's not this way, it can never be the other way. No, the world has changed. We must put on our lens that we can view things from different perspective. We must be flexible. We must be very flexible. You must be ready to maybe you find yourself in a comfort zone. You must be ready to push beyond that comfort zone. That's very important. Very, very important. Like some of us have found ourselves in a place where, in quotes, we have peace of mind, but then the take home is not taking us home. When we now saw people moving, people moving and making it big, that's when our eyes now open that we too we have to move. So we must not be fixated. We must have what? We must be ready to push and stretch ourselves beyond that little space that we have put ourselves. And financial planning is very important. Everybody can invest too. I know people will say, when the salary is not enough, how can somebody invest? Yes, actually everybody can invest. There could be long-term and short-term investment. We have to think it through. And that's why I said positive mindset and flexibility is key. We have to think it through. And that's where financial planning come in place. Mentorship. Thank you very much. Mentorship is key. If you see someone who is doing well in your field, please gum body with that person. Gum body with that person. Find out how's the person doing well. call the person, greet the person, send the person message, remain connected. You'll be shocked at how that person will recommend you to a higher ground. In fact, many of us here, some of the job we are working on is based on recommendation by our networks. I'm very sure about that. A lot of us here, myself inclusive, most of the jobs we are working or most of the job we are at work is based on recommendation by our network. So we must keep that network. Very, very important. We must keep it and be ready to maintain that good relationship, not burning bridges anyhow. Very, very important. I think we have dwelt too much on this. It's okay for us to dwell too much on this because it's one of the main strong area that we need to look at. So we've talked about practice deep assessment, develop career narrative, research new fields, bridging skill gap, extensive networking. I just talked about that. Thorough job search preparation. Yes, some of you are not updating your CVs every now and then. This is very important. You must be updating your CV because at any time somebody can ask you to just send your CV. Some of you got a job today and you stop doing job search. It's not supposed to be. Yes, I agree with you. Some of us are very religious that we are waiting for God's direction before we can move. Yeah, it's fine. No problem. No problem. But some of you too, you want God to cause a problem that will push you away from that stagnant, from that situation where you put yourself. And that is where many of us have found ourselves. I want to assure you that wherever you find yourself now, there is a better place. It is not wrong for you to long or to seek to get to that better place. If you think you are in the best corporate organization, search for a corporate organization that's senior your organization and get a friend there and be looking for how to gain access to that place. Like some of us who are in the field of education, you know the top schools. You know the top schools. It's not a bad idea if you have a friend there. I keep telling the friend that please, when there is opening, let me know. When there is opening, let me know. When there is opening, it's not a bad idea. We need to do this. Very important. Very, very important. It's good to be loyal, but you must always believe there is more and there is something better out there for you. Very important for us to take note of that. Okay? So, what pitfall should be avoided during career transition? So let's begin to bring in the message. Or if you want to speak, you can speak. It's like this night, a lot of people don't want to speak. And I really wish I won't talk this much tonight, but I've been talking too much. So let's talk about it. What are the things we need to avoid during career transition? Pitfalls that should be avoided during career transitions. Whoever wants to speak can speak, and if you want to drop message in the chat box, you can also drop message in the chat box. Pitfalls, like what are the things that you must avoid, or things that can bring about, that can cause issue for you and things like that. So common pitfalls to avoid in the career transition. I wouldn't want us to okay, thank you, Mr. Marcel.
Let's look at making adequate preparation before you move. What I would call look. Some people will not consider their available opportunities very well before they make a change. Like I had a friend who complained that he left his job and went to another job, trying to switch to another job. In the process of getting that job, at the end of the day, he was not why he has already resigned from the one he had. And when he has already resigned, and at the end of the process, he did not get the other one. The other people were unable to accommodate him again, so he was now left with that job. So leap, well, I would say look well before you leap. That is one of the pitfalls that you should avoid. And get yourself well prepared. If you are going to a new role, make sure that you will fit into that new role. Not when you are given the end of the That's what I think.
Thank you so much, Mr. Marcel. That's a very, very wonderful insight. That that his friend was not well prepared, and it's even funny. Maybe he has not even gotten appointment letter. He's now dropping resignation letter. No, 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 no. That is a very, very serious pitfall that one must avoid. Very, very serious one. Okay, Miss Modest.
Okay, thank you for the privilege. So another pitfall we should look out for during this transition is to sieve the set of people who are listening to. Sometimes because of, okay, you need to make the decision, you're now listening to the wrong voice. You're spoken to the wrong person that will now give you the wrongest advice ever. I mean, deep down, sometimes when people give you their own opinions, their own advice, you should be able to know that okay, this one is sounding all right. No, this one. So my suggestion is a pitfall to avoid is the voice you listen to at those period of transition. It goes a long way really to affect the transitioning altogether. For example, maybe you're a married person and then your partner is not even giving you all the support. There's a way you can tone down the transitioning, especially if you've not communicated well. So yes, that's mine. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That's a very good one. So from the chat box, I have one from Miss Glory. She said, counting the costs before starting. Yes, counting the costs before starting. So in the opposite direction, it simply means that it's not like you jump into it, you now start thinking of how to solve the problem. You must think of the problem ahead. Or let me say, not counting the cost before starting. That's also a very, very serious pitfall that must be avoided. Another pitfall that must, in fact, one of the main pitfall that must be avoided is is the opposite of the one we discussed previously. Look before you leap. Thank you very much. Not doing enough research. You didn't do enough research. You are just jumping. You are doing gra. You are allowing youthful exuberance to take over you. That is inappropriate. Another thing is, we should not allow emotion to drive our action. This is very, very important. We must sit down and think thoughtfully before taking steps. We should not allow emotion to drive our action. Some people, I've seen a situation where emotion have drive some people. One of my friend called me day before yesterday. He said he has been trying to reach me since last week, that he got to a point that he was angry in his workplace and he wanted to write resignation letter. We don't have to get to that point. Yes, at times when I've been so provoked to a point that no, I can't take it anymore. But you should make sure that yes, it has reached that point. And that is why we're even discussing this matter now. Before it gets to that point where you have to angrily write resignation letter, you should in advance put things in place. So the bottom line is this. Whether things are going smoothly or not, you must put plan in place in case of eventuality. Sincerely speaking, as an individual, that is what I used to tell myself. I used to ask myself every month that question, that what will happen if I get to work today and they tell me that I am not more needed in that place. I used to ask myself, what will happen? What will I fall back to? Every now and then, I do that self-assessment, and that has always helped me a lot. And that is why we need to always do that self-assessment too, so that we will not get to a point where we have to angrily resign. And that point where you angrily resign, there is no plan in place at all. But if you have put plan in place, you will not even angry. They will. In fact, in many occasions, they will not even treat you anyhow, because they know that this person is this or is that. So it's very, very important for us to put all this plan in place. Although we are talking about pitfalls to avoid, so we have mentioned not doing enough research. We have mentioned not okay, let me see, check the chat box to see what some of us have mentioned again. Not counting, not looking before it, then depending on old skills. Thank you very much. We have talked about a lot of things changing now, so we can no more depend on our old skills. Another pitfall you should not avoid is don't neglect your network. Don't neglect your network. This is very important. See, please, our networks are very important. In fact, there's a statement that your network is your net worth. Don't neglect your network. Very, very important. Because these are the people that will remember you when there is something or there's an opportunity somewhere. Don't neglect your network. Hold them. Don't burn the bridges. Don't burn them. Very, very important. Very, very important. Then, we have mentioned living, not having well thought out plan. We have mentioned that. Neglecting, we have mentioned that. Then, allowing emotion to drive action. We have also mentioned that. Then, okay, it's still part of not burning bridges. Then, living angrily. We have also mentioned that. So some of these things are the pitfalls that we must try as much as possible to avoid whenever we are having our career transition. Now, this concept of career transition that I've been talking about, I don't want us to only see it in the light of what should I say? In the light of one organization to another. We can see it in the light, we should also see it in the light of moving from one role to another role. For example, I have seen a situation where an admin staff moved from being an admin staff to an academic staff in an institution. That's a very, very good career transition. And in fact, that cannot happen without proper planning, because that person must have gone back, probably back to school, or gone to upskill in a particular area before he or she will be able to transit into the next role. So now, we have mentioned some of these before: avoid insufficient research, emotional decision making, and the likes and the like. Now, I want to ask a very important question. Among us here, has anyone decide the age is planning to retire? Has any one of us here decide the age they are planning to retire? Miss Modest, have you decided the age you are planning to retire? Because you are laughing. Not yet. Big question. So we need to start. Everybody, this is where I really want us to actually start thinking now. By now, everybody should have decided the age they are planning to retire, and they should have a retirement plan right now. And this is where we are going to draw the curtain today. There are some other questions that should come forward, but because of time, this is where I would like us to draw the curtain today. Ask yourself this question: do you have the age you are planning to retire? Do you have a retirement plan? Do you think the pensions, maybe some of us that are fortunate to have pension scheme in our workplace, do you think that your pension scheme will be able to take care of you when you retire? Ask yourself that question. Another question I want you to ask yourself: are you planning to use your children as your retirement plan? Are you hoping that, okay, when you train your children will get good job, and when they get good job, they will be taking care of you when you get to old age? Is that your plan? We need to think deep now. Everybody must think deep and ask themselves, what is actually my retirement plan? It is not late at all to start thinking about it right now. In fact, The earlier, the best. I'll put it that way. Or the earliest, the best. At 25 is best. Mr. Marcel wants to speak.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You asked if someone is using children as retirement plan. I think the issue of using your children as a retirement plan is not guaranteed. In fact, it's not a guarantee. So, I'm talking about the age of retirement. I don't think there should be an age for retirement because it is the body that is your body that will tell you that you should retire. Once you are not able to do the best things that you are able to do before, it is time for retirement. But if you are strong enough and you can really do the work, it may not be the same work. You can just move on from teaching now and you open a shop in your yard and be doing business and you still be working because long as you can still do something. It may not necessarily be the formal work you were doing before. So long as your body can carry you, you can walk as much as you can. The age should not be a limit. That's what I think. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Marcel. I appreciate your contribution. And I am going to also make my comment about your contribution. I appreciate the fact that you mentioned that children, they are not guaranteed for retirement plan. That's a good one. Please, does any other person want to contribute on this matter too? Hey, no, network will be okay. Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Moses, please, you can speak. Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Moses, please, or you can put on your mic and speak with us.
Hello.
Yeah.
Am I on now?
Yeah, we are hearing you now.
Oh, thank you very much. I want to also buy Mr. Marcel's idea, but though I have a little observation there too. Actually, for me, I don't have any plan to depend on my children. No, that's far from it because you can imagine what if, God forbid, they have their own family needs to meet. So look, if by the time you're looking out to them, you will be like in another dependent, and that's one spirit me I don't really like. Now, for the age for retirement, I don't want to believe until I become weak or I'm not physically strong to do the job. No, it should not be that age. Let it be at the time where I can retire from active service of collecting salary from somebody. Let it be the point where maybe I have businesses where I can just visit them by myself. Not really. So for me, retirement age should not be when I am weak. I can decide to say, okay, maybe by 60, I should retire, or 55, I should retire. So definitely I'm going to peg it. There should be an age where one should retire. Not really when you are not strong again. All right, thank you.
Wow, thank you very much for that insightful contribution. I'm so excited about your contribution too. I don't know if any other person wants to speak or make contribution to this too. Do we have any other person who would like to make contribution on this? Okay, now the reason why we are having this conversation is what I'm to bring about change in mindset. That's why we're having this conversation. Everybody listening to this message, let's ask ourselves, are we doing as much as we would love to do for our parents? Let's ask ourselves that question. Let's imagine if we are the only one to take care of our parents. Do you think what we are supporting them with is sufficient to take care of them? If at all we are even supporting them. Now, compare yourself with somebody like, I don't want to mention too many big names. I don't want to mention too many big names, but maybe we'll be able to relate with that. Maybe it might be relatable. Okay, let's say somebody like Otedola or Dangote, who is even still funding their children's. The children are not suffering, no, but then they are still supporting them. And I'm sure many of us, if our parents, if we really wish it, we will really wish our parents are of high status so that they will support us till, in fact, Miss Modest, you started by using Bible yet today, so I'll have to bring Bible standards too. That's Bible standard. We should even be the one to keep things for our children, not we expecting them. So the mindset shift has come to stay. Is before, in the olden days, that parents will be waiting for their children to take care of them, but now there's a shift in mindset. You must plan for your future by yourself. Your child, maybe when they get to the university, they are already planning japa. They are planning to japa, and when they japa, they may even japa and you'll be begging them to come home. You'll be the one begging them to come home. Yes, they might be sending money, but at times that money is not even enough. You want to see them, you'll not be able to see them. And at times, like someone mentioned, they may also have to face their own family issues too, like some of us are actually facing right now. So that should be out of it completely. Now, the next mindset shift we need to tell ourselves is this. Please, it is not bad if you tell yourself you want to retire by 50 and you plan towards it. It's possible. See, people are putting things in place where money is working for them, like very well. People are putting things in place. In fact, in this age of online job, online investment, yes, there are many scams, and at the same time, there are many much more ways people are making money. People are making money from buying stocks, US stocks, and they will be getting good dividend. Good dividend. People are putting money in what they call mutual funds. People are really investing in agri in so many ways. So that is why we are talking about strategic planning this evening. There is nothing bad. There is nothing bad. There is nothing bad if we what? If we tell ourselves that I want to retire at 50. In fact, saying that to yourself will help your planning. But if you leave it in the thin air, like I'll be checking my status, I think that is not a proper planning. It is not a proper planning. You can also view it from this perspective. Like I will always say, there is money in education, but I don't believe there is money in the classroom. You can tell yourself that you want to transfer from being a classroom teacher to becoming an investor in education, or an education or business education person, or a consultant. People are doing it. People are working towards it. Some of us have colleagues who are making money from consultancy more than they are making money in the classroom. Some of us have colleagues who have left the classroom totally, and they are making money through consultancies. Now, those people, they didn't just get there by chance. There was planning. There was planning. If I mention somebody's name now, which most of us might have known, he has one of the biggest telegrams group for teacher in Nigeria. We were all together and we saw him when he was preparing for this stage. There was preparation. This person will stay in school from morning till evening, browsing, doing courses, doing a whole lot of things. There was preparation. And when the opportunity came, he was prepared for it, and we know where he is now. Some of us might know him. He has one of the largest Telegram group in Nigeria for teachers. So there has to be a preparation. There has to be a planning, and you must fit your skill to align with that what, with that particular thing you are looking out for. So please, I want to encourage us. This discussion is not like a one-off thing. It's what we need to always discuss with ourselves, with our family members. Yes, with our family members. Some of us that have spouses, talk about it with your spouse. Some of us that have children, talk about it with your children. Yes, I know my time has gone. I know our time is gone. We are going to end it now. There are still many more slides we are supposed to discuss, but we are ending it at this point. Time, if not for time, we'll have a lot of very, very important discussion. But this particular session will be over today. We are still going to have another session next week Friday, but on a different topic. I want us to have different topics that will help us this summer break before we set off for resumption. But I want to assure you that this session is recorded. I want to assure you that we will all. Yeah, the session is recorded. Yeah, thank you. So, Mr. Marcel, did you still raise your hand? I don't think I'm hearing you very well. I'm not hearing you clearly. Okay. Mr. Latpos, do you want to speak with us, or you help us mute the mic? Okay. So,
I'm also now.
okay, you want to speak now, right?
No, don't worry.
Okay, thank you very much.
I almost mistakenly. I'm in a bus.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so, because of time, sincerely speaking, I don't want to take our time. The time is fast spent, and I would like us to please go and have a session. Okay, a brief summary. Thank you very much, Mr. Marcel. I'm going to give a brief summary of everything we have talked about. So, summarily, or brief summary of everything we've talked about today is that we have to be strategic in our planning. It is not too late for us. Some of us are older, but if you are younger and you are in this meeting, it's a great opportunity for you. Career transition is very, very important. In fact, I will recommend in a particular organization, don't stay too long. That is my personal recommendation. It's just a personal recommendation. Don't stay too long in one organization. Move. And that is why you have to have a plan. And I will always say it, no matter where you are, there is a better place. A lot of people, maybe in Abuja, we always say, Regent, and this. I will tell people, yes, Regent is a very good place to work, a very good place to work, but there is a better place. It's only for you to make your research and you get to know. There is a better place. Like, it's a very good place, but then there is a better place. American International School is, in fact, if you are there, you don't have to go anywhere again. No, don't say that. It's not wrong for you to be there and at the same time desire something better. It is not wrong. It is not out of place. It's fine. Some of those children we teach there, some of them, right now, this is summer, some of them are not in Nigeria. They are flexing all around the world. Don't you want to live that kind of life too? Ask yourself. Ask yourself, is it a bad idea if you have the opportunity to also live that kind of life? We have people who are earning legitimately and they are also living a very good life that they can go on vacation during summer. We have people. Don't you desire that too? So for me, there is always a better place, and I will always long for that better place. It doesn't have to be in an enclosed workplace. Maybe it is a place where I'll use my skill and get something better. If I have the opportunity to use my skill to get what will pay me my 2 month salary in 1 week, well, why should I still be there? I move on. I move on straight away. My current the current PE teacher in my workplace was telling me about his former colleague who learned design, graphic design, and he was using the graphic design in Upwork. He said the guy got so rich that he had to tell them in the workplace that, see, I can't continue. I will have to move on. They had to tell him to look for somebody that will come and replace him. So what are we saying? You could have a skill that will fetch you so much more. Use it and move on. My main point is there is always something better out there for you. No matter where you are, there is a place that is better than that place. It is not bad if you desire to move in that place. And it's even sweeter when you are trying to transit from a place of you are not in a rush or you are not desperate. That's even sweeter. Another summary I want us to have today is it is not wrong for you to start preparing for your retirement. It is not wrong for you to choose a time and say by 60 years I'm done thinking about maybe I'm getting salary from somewhere. By 60 years, my money should be working for me. I should have people I am controlling that are working for me. I should have this, I should have farm. Maybe I should share one of my own with you. Me, one of my own retirement plan is a very big farm. I am going to have a very big farm. Like very big farm. And I'm working towards it. If I don't have that plan, there's no way I can work towards it. I don't know if you get my point. So these are the points we are trying to make. So we'll draw the curtain on that today. The conversation can continue on the platform and we can continue to share our experiences. If we see situation or we see stories that can encourage us, please let's post it on the platform so that it can encourage us. By God's grace, next week we are going to discuss a different topic, and I'll also give us the update on the topic. So does any other person have something to add before we call it a day? Anything, just anything random, any random thing that you just want to add before we call it a day today? Anything random, any random thing? Okay, so if there is nothing for us to add, I think we can end the meeting tonight. So I really appreciate everybody who have contributed to what we have discussed today. Let's not relent. Let's not relax. Let's not give up. Let's not think it's over. It is not over until it is over. I wish every one of us a very sweet rest. Good night. It's okay to say bye-bye to everybody.